Good evening. My name is Alexander Hagan. I'm the CEO of a small, medium-sized tech firm in Silicon Valley. Tonight I'd like to speak to you about the potential candidacy of Hillary Clinton in 2016 and why we must demand a full accounting for what happened in Libya, not just in Benghazi, but the entire war, before you should allow yourself or any of your friends to support her or contribute to her candidacy. Hillary Clinton is likely to run for the presidency in 2016. It is critical that all people seek other candidates to run for the nominee of the Democratic Party. The statements I'm about to make, if they come out after the Democratic nomination, could be used to easily propel a Republican or independent nominee into the White House, should you be a Democrat. Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, and Jerry Brown all would not be tarnished by having overseen a disastrous military campaign that has resulted in the near destruction of the nation of Libya, along with what may have been the unnecessary deaths of tens of thousands. Until she provides a full accounting for what has occurred in Libya, which she took credit for, and Obama has congratulated her on. He stated, without Hillary Clinton, the success in Libya would have not been possible. I ask you to tell all your friends not to contribute to her, but to contribute to other candidates, whether Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Jerry Brown, or others. Demand a full accounting for the tens of thousands of deaths, tortures, and hundreds of thousands of displaced persons and refugees, as well as the flooding of Africa with heavily armed extremists as a direct result of the decision Hillary Clinton made in accelerating the mission in Libya from one of seeking a diplomatic solution to some protests that had broken out into a full-scale attack on the nation by NATO. Without Hillary Clinton's hawkish insistence on a military attack on Libya, Libya would be quite a different place today. Libya has been turned from a very peaceful and very controlled society into a lawless land. Murder rates previously well below the rate in the United States now vastly exceed the United States. The region is awash in weapons due to the rapid destruction of the Libyan Armed Forces by NATO. Clinton is famous for a number of statements, such as she said this in Egypt, the Libyan military did not stand with the Libyan people. Now Libya has no army. And then, of course, her most famous statement, which I cannot but play for you.
So, I mean, that is the land of unconfirmed reports.
Yes, we came, we saw, he died.
Did it have anything to do with your visit?
No, oh, I'm sure it did.
So that is, of course, the most egregious statement she made that I know of. Hillary Clinton, Samantha Powers, and Susan Rice were absolutely key to the destruction of the Libyan Armed Forces. This led to turning Libya not into a failed state, but a zombie state, decapitated, both literally and figuratively. Regardless of whether you're a Clinton supporter or not, the level of destruction and destabilization of Libya is shocking. A country of 6 million, now perhaps closer to 5 million, about the size of New York City's population, underwent 28,000 NATO sorties, 8,500 of which were aerial attacks according to their own accounts. Tens of thousands are dead, hundreds of thousands are displaced, tens of thousands have been placed into concentration camps run by local warlords. Massive ethnic cleansing of black people has occurred. Tens of thousands are in vigilante prisons run by local warlords where torture to death is common. The accusations of rape that initially came out, orchestrated some sort of disinformation campaign, it seems, by a group in Switzerland that was orchestrating the overthrow of Libya, were proved unfounded against the Gaddafi supporters. However, rape has been used as a weapon by the extremists who have taken over Libya through raw force. It cannot be underestimated how much human suffering followed upon the destruction of Libya. Additionally, if you go to the BBC website and just search for the word Lockerbie, you will find many disturbing things that indicate that Libya may have had nothing to do with Lockerbie, and in fact it was a man named Mr. Talb, T-A-L-B, an Egyptian, who is probably responsible, and that certainly the bomb fragment was falsified by the CIA. Just go to the BBC website and search for the word Lockerbie. Also look at Lockerbie Truth. I never looked into Lockerbie during the war because I didn't want to open that can of worms, but I've now found out that Lockerbie appears to have been a very disturbing situation that involves U.S. Intelligence having paid off by millions of dollars this tailor in Malta, who's completely uncredible, and in fact the Pan Am facility in London Heathrow was known to be insecure and had been broken into. So the whole story falls apart, and most Scots don't believe that Megrahi had anything to do with the bombing, the man who was accused of it and jailed for it. And why Gaddafi agreed to settle with the victims in order to lift the embargo is a interesting question. So even Lockerbie falls apart upon examination now. Ms. Clinton must provide a full and detailed explanation for this enormous disaster that was inflicted upon Libya and Africa and the world. Why was this gross miscalculation made? I speculate that it seems the powerful perhaps are so full of themselves that they are careless with the lives of the common people. In addition, the United Nations Resolution 1973, used by NATO to justify their 8,500 aerial bombing runs on Libya, was authored by Clinton's State Department. Clinton, no doubt Samantha Powers, and Susan Rice. Instead of a ceasefire and a humanitarian protection resolution, in fact, it was used as justification to make NATO the primary belligerent against the Libyan state and to completely liquidate the armed forces. The rebels, as they are called, did not overthrow the government. It cannot be called a revolution. It was regime change imposed by outside forces with enough inside support for the government to be driven into hiding, exile, and now the murder, day by day, of anyone suspected of having been involved. It reminds one of the early imperialist activities here in the United States, where the heads of Native American tribes were picked off one by one until there was no one left to fight. Of course, that's a highly subjective feeling that I have. The city of Sirte was heavily bombed by NATO, including hospitals and apartment buildings, even after it was clear the entire Libyan military had been mortally shattered by NATO. To give you some idea of what this looks like, you simply can Google something along the lines of the destruction of Sirte photos. It is unbelievable what was done to the city of Sirte after the loyalists were already militarily defeated. This all done under the order of Hillary Rodham Clinton. Hillary Clinton must face those who truly know what damage she did to Libya. Only if she faces the families of the loyalists killed in Libya, who are allowed to cross-examine her, could we conceive of preventing her to sit in the highest office in the land. Many people leave the presidency stained with blood, unfortunately. But how low as a people should we stoop to elect someone in this office covered in blood entering it? Is she willing to live by the standards she has proclaimed for others? It was Clinton herself who said all should be welcome to participate in the rebuilding of Libya who did not have blood on their hands. Well, she has plenty of blood on her hands as far as I can reckon. In conclusion, let me say that it is crystal clear to me that Clinton was not ever interested in diplomacy with Libya. Neither she nor Obama would bother with meeting with the Libyans. Gaddafi had to go, she said. Who is she to make that decision? And how do you negotiate with someone who is gone? No, peace was never countenanced. It was to be war. Even to this day, many decent law-abiding Libyans have false charges filed against them via Interpol, making mockery of international police work. A Libyan television commentator still has an international warrant for embezzling state funds, which she did not do, and there is no evidence to support. The Libyan invasion, the mechanics of manipulating the International Criminal Court, Interpol, the international media, and the United Nations, the efficient liquidation of the men and women serving their armed forces was remarkable, both in its cruelty and efficiency. So I ask you to tell your friends, tell your coworkers, tell your family that we must not vote for Hillary Clinton. We must not provide a penny of support for her campaign, because this issue will haunt you. My name is Alexander Hagan. Good night and good luck.